Alrighty, mealtime everyone, welcome back. Now in the last video I told you that my flight stick is busted, and now I got a new one. The Turtlebeach VelocityOne Flightstick. It's an all-in-one solution for PC or Xbox with integrated throttle and stick, and also with integrated flaps or speed brake control, whatever you want to put on these other axes. Since I'm right-handed, I have the flaps on the right as well as the handrest, which of course you can adjust in height, and the throttle on the left, so I can operate the stick and the throttle at the same time. And speaking of the throttle, it's actually an improvement over the Thrustmaster throttle quadrant for two reasons. Firstly, because I never operate one engine separately from the other, and furthermore, the throttle axis on the Thrustmaster throttle quadrant is in the middle position when I reach the climb detent. And this middle, the lower part that you can see here, also contains the reversers. So actually you only have a quarter of the entire range from idle to climb. So it is basically impossible to set the throttle to any desired position without overshooting or not reaching it at all. And in this regard, the VelocityOne is much better, because the 3 detents for climb, flex and toga are all at the upper end, and there isn't really any room between these detents, because you don't really need any. You only need the 3 detents. So the majority of the axis is from idle to climb, and it gives you way more precise control over the throttle. With the reversers, it's just like a switch at the end, but to be honest, I never really use half of or quarter or anything of the reverse. I usually only use full reverse, so I don't need any space there. The quality feels pretty solid, and I noticed that I don't have any of the jittering around the center position that I had with the TCA Flightstick. The plastics feel higher quality than the TCA. But keep in mind that the TCA is basically just a T16000M, which has always been in the lower price range. It's just an entry-level stick actually. I configured the stick mostly the way that I configured my TCA Flightstick, so that I don't have to relearn everything, and that worked surprisingly well. The biggest readjustment I needed for the actual controlling of the flight surfaces. And the deflection angle from one end to the other is way smaller than in the TCA, but I still had good control over the aircraft and managed a quote-unquote perfect landing. So all in all, I have to say my first impressions of this flight stick are very positive, but keep in mind that this is just that, a first impression. Of course, I will have to do a lot of other flights in order to give it a clean bill of health, but as an all-in-one solution, I have to say I don't know any better at the moment. So I'm going to use this in the future in a lot more flights and then see how it works out over the time. But for now, I'm very satisfied with it, and I'm very positively surprised because, as I was saying, it's actually in some regards an improvement over the Flightstick Plus throttle. Yeah, we're going to see. Until then, take care and tschüss.